On the weekends, we and our younger sister Ella snuggle up under the covers with Mom and Dad and watch the children's channels while they sleep more. It's always nice, but one day it is different. We feel like Mom and Dad are going to tell us something important, something bad. Then, suddenly we know. "It's Tom, isn't it?" we burst out. "He's dead." Tom is our cousin. He was born with a hole in his heart. He isn't even one yet. Mom is surprised. "How did you know?" She stares at us and has gone pale. She looks scared, and we're not sure why. We smile, trying to make it okay again. "Don't smile about this, okay, Lily? Don't smile about this." And that's when we know we have done something very bad. "Yes, Lily," Mom says, "Tom died last night." We think right away, Tom probably wasn't even dead before we said it. We made it happen. We know it. Because we are bad. The first day of year 4 in school starts tomorrow, so we are trying very hard to get to sleep, but we can't. About 11:15, we hear our parents turn off the telly, put on the chain on the door, go upstairs, then the house is silent. No one is awake to check on Ella, our little sister. What if Ella stops breathing? What if she's dying right now, gasping for her last breath? If we don't check on Ella, who will? Slowly, we climb down our ladder from our bunk bed, trying to tread like a mouse. Years of creeping around our room after bedtime have made us a pro. We know which floorboards creak. We tiptoe across from our bed to the door, which squeaks when it is opened. If it only squeaks 3 times or less, tomorrow will be a good day. Our heart catches in our mouth. We stand still for a minute. Dad doesn't wake up. Thankfully, Ella's door is open because she is afraid of the dark. We can hear her breathing, but to be sure, we hold our hand an inch from her mouth. We can feel her breath on our palms, so she must be alive. We count 9 of her breaths. We place our hand on her chest. Her heart is still beating. We count 9 beats, but we're not sure, so we count 9 more. Leaving it like that feels unlucky, so we count 9 more. 3 sets is lucky. We must be done, but it still doesn't feel right. We repeat the words, "Best sister ever, best sister ever, best sister ever." We focus hard on the meaning so that she will be protected from bad things. Back in our room, we have to be sure it is safe to go to bed. We open all our drawers, feeling around inside to be sure nothing bad is hiding there. We check the closet and under the bed. Up in bed, we look left, right, left, right, left, right. Everything must be done in 3s. Then we pray. This is the best protection against bad things. Dear God, please protect our family. Please do not let Ella die in her sleep. Please do not let us wake up in the morning and our parents have left. Please do not let the whole world turn to ice. Please make our parents happy so they will get along. Please make Scarlett like us so she will be our best friend. Please let us sleep now. And remember that lying in bed is just as good as sleeping. Amen. Then we repeat the prayer 2 more times to make 3. If we forget something, then we have to start all over. There must be 3 perfect repeats of the prayer. Luckily, we get it right the first time. By now, it's been 30 minutes since we checked on Ella. How long does it take to die? Seconds. Imagine how many times she could have died by now. And there's no one to check on her but us. We'll go and see if she's alive. Just one more time. At the end of year 8 in school, Mrs. Woodson gives us a talk about internet danger. She explains about bad people and abuse and bad touching. Her face turns red. But she tells us that abuse is when someone gets pleasure from touching your chest or your breasts, if you have them, or your bum. We are shaking in terror. Everything is going fuzzy, and we can't hear Mrs. Woodson anymore. All this time, we were checking to be sure Ella was still alive and feeling her heartbeat. We have been touching her chest over and over. My friend in my head asked, "Did you get pleasure from it?" "Only in the sense of being happy she was alive." "Is that bad pleasure?" All this time, were we abusing our own sister? Thank God we are going to boarding school soon. Ella will be safe from us. We will never, never be able to hurt her again. We are 13. We are standing next to Maya, brushing our teeth at Hamilton Girls Boarding School. We accidentally touch Maya's arm. We want to say, "I'm sorry," to fix the bad thing we did, but we say, "I'm sorry," too much, and the girls don't like that. So that's when we develop the justification system. If we've done something really bad, it becomes a very red word, and we see its letters spelled out bold in our head, flashing an angry crimson color. Then it goes into the master archive, which is the area in our head where we store the really bad things we've done. For example, when we shook the headmistress's hand in the entrance hall, our hand was a little sweaty. Oh. So we remember the word hand, because she'll think that's disgusting. But there are so many bad things in one day that we learn to just remember the first letter to remind us. So we think H for hand. Then, when Alice was bending over to get something out of the drawer, our eyes saw her bum. She might think we are a pervert for looking at her bum too long. So we remember the letter B for bum. At the end of the day, we assess each word. We might have a long list of letters like H, B, C, R, T, L, A, M, M, R, B to remind us of the words. We must repeat all the words on the list 3 times. It must be done quickly and rhythmically. If the rhythm between the words feels wrong, or if there is a word that cannot be recalled instantly, the whole thing must be done again. Then we repeat our 3 mottos. In the end, it is all done. Anger only hurts the one who feels it. If you want nice friends, you must be nice to them. These mottos get us through the day. The first one reassures us that we will learn enough from our routine so that we will never do the bad things again. The other 2 help us be good. Then there are some motions we do. Some tapping, some tugging at our shirt, some twisting of our hair, and other things. These must be done 3 times. Then we land on blank slate. Unfortunately, only a few moments of every day are spent in blank slate. But it is a place of euphoria. It feels like the first breath you take after you've been underwater too long, greedy for oxygen. It is wonderful. As time goes on in school, our lists get longer. There could be between 100 and 350 letters every day. We have to make notebooks and more notebooks of lists so that we can remember them all. We lie in bed sorting letters. This takes up to 4 hours. We have time tests at school. The test starts at 9 o'clock, but we have 102 letters to assess before the test starts. We have only gotten to letter 57. We were staring at the mirror trying to assess the words when Trish says, "Stop staring at yourself, you gimp." Trish thinks we are self-obsessed and will probably tell everyone. There's no way to excuse this before the test. We must add it to the list. At 9:01, the proctor says, "You may start the test." But of course, we cannot start the test then. We cannot start until 9:41. That's when we have finally finished sorting all the letters. Now we move on to Wimborne. which is nice because we will have our own room so that no one can disturb us while we are sorting our lists. We can spend hours and hours sorting lists and doing routines. But we are getting so tired of lists. Then, one day when we are 16, it all becomes just too much. The friend in my head and I have a discussion. I don't care, I say. I don't care what happens anymore as long as it doesn't involve lists and letters. I want to die. There. Are you happy? I just want it to end. My friend says, it's my idea. Then she slides into my arms. Oh, the relief. It is always better to be held by someone other than yourself. We fake being sick, and Mom picks us up from boarding school. We end up in Dr. Ford's office. I don't tell Dr. Ford about us. I simply say that I make lists about things all day and night, and then I can't stop it. We are referred to Dr. Finch at the psychiatric hospital. My friend does not like the idea of Dr. Finch. But I tell Dr. Finch the terrible secret. There are two of me inside my head. Afterwards, my mom and I talk. She asks, was Dr. Finch helpful? Oh, yeah, in a way, we say. I have obsessive-compulsive disorder, but it's treatable. Why didn't you tell me? Mom asked. I didn't know. I thought OCD was just lining up books and checking to see if the door is locked. I do those things, but it's not the main problem. Mom holds my hand and bites her lip. I feel so terrible. Why? For not noticing. I'm your mother. I should have noticed. You couldn't. All my energy goes into making sure no one does notice. I keep everything inside my head. I have to keep going over my list so I can be perfect. Why do you have to be perfect? Mom asks. I don't know, we say. I've never really thought about it. Dr. Finch talks to me, explains everything, and gives me some pills. My friend does not like Dr. Finch. She is afraid Dr. Finch will drive her out of my head. The pills make us tired and groggy. We don't care so much about the list now. My friend is cranky and stops around. You're killing me, she says. Progress is very slow, but Dr. Finch is happy. She says even tiny progress is wonderful. She helps me see that being with my friends is better than sitting alone in my room doing lists. She teaches me about magical thinking. It's magical thinking to believe that counting my little sister's breaths will protect her from bad things. I keep telling myself, magical thinking doesn't work. Magical thinking doesn't work. Then one day I tell Dr. Finch the worst thing of all. My mother's friend has cancer, and sometimes I think I want her friend to die, but I really don't want her friend to die. Dr. Finch isn't worried. Lots of people with OCD have thoughts like that, but they never act on them. She tells me not to worry when bad thoughts come. Just let them in. Don't push them away, but just think, that really isn't me. One day I realize my friend has left me. I see a wispy figure running into the distance. I know it's her, although it's strange seeing her out of my head for the first time. I'm so used to seeing her having her sit behind my eyes. Her feathery outline streaks in and out of the trees. For someone who has never used legs before, she's very good at it. I tell Dr. Finch about it. I admit I am angry at Dr. Finch for sending her away. Dr. Finch says, I understand your anger. Your friend was your OCD, and you miss her. She says I could bring my friend back if I wanted to because she is my creation. But Dr. Finch is wrong. No, I say. I didn't create her. She created me. She told me what to do. I'm nothing without her. She's gone because I told you too much. I am a blank space now. I don't know who I am. We have 2 lungs, we have 2 kidneys. Why can't I have 2 people in my head? I am angry. I stop taking the pills. Then I take them again. Then sometimes I don't. I turn 18, and my little sister Ella is 13. Ella tells me that sometimes she feels like she must hold her breath for 10 seconds or else Mom will die. But now she feels she has to hold her breath even longer. Oh, no. What would Dr. Finch say? I tell Ella about magical thinking. I tell her not to worry. So, I'm not odd? She asks. No, I say. You're not odd at all. Sometimes now my friend pops into my head again. She says, surprise! That's a nice little chemical dependency you've got going there. Harder than you thought without me, isn't it? One night I am 19. I am drunk. I have been arrested for stealing a handbag from under a table in a nightclub. In the jail cell, I start pulling out clumps of my hair. The years I have spent trying to be good are dwarfed by this. My lists are gone. Dr. Finch doesn't love me anymore. I have lost the battle. I am tired. My brain feels broken. At home, later, I feel calm. I put on my pajamas and I take every pill in my bedroom and I get under the covers, ready for a long sleep. In the mental ward of Chestbury Hospital in London, there are different doctors, different pills. My dad shows up and asks, "Why? Why?" My mom flies back from Thailand where she was taking a yoga class. I tell her to go away. Eventually, I go home with them, but I run away and they send the police after me. I am back at Chestbury. They are the wrong doctors and they give me the wrong pills. I finally admit I need Dr. Finch again. I want Dr. Finch to love me, but she won't because she's a doctor and thinks of me like a bug to be studied for scientific interest. Hello, Dr. Finch smiles. Hi. I manage to speak. How are you? Okay. How are you really? Bad. Then she is quiet for a long time. She knows I am doing the lists in my head. She is the only one who understands me. I love her. I am going to cry. But if I do, I can't do the lists. Okay, she finally says. Let's try to disentangle a few things. Today I am 21. I am better. I didn't live all of my first 21 years, but I hope to live the rest of them. I still take medication, but someday I hope to come off. Occasionally I still hear the ghost of my friend rumbling down a forgotten corridor. Then I talk to Dr. Finch. I have a support group. I have a boyfriend too, and lots of girlfriends. I have a job, and now I am an author. I wrote a book. I've been on TV telling my story. You can see me on YouTube. I hope my story will help other people. Okay, let's summarize a little bit here. How did it feel to have OCD? Ooh. How did it feel to walk a mile in Lily's shoes? For me, most of all, Lily's story illustrates how impossible it is to know what other people are thinking. Lily's mother had no idea what was going on in her child's head, because in many ways, Lily did seem normal. I didn't have time to go into her entire story. You can tell I skipped a lot through the years. But she did have friends, and she did well in school. And you can tell she tried very hard to be a good person. There were very few red flags to warn a parent of her child's distress until Lily was in her teens. Perhaps after hearing this, we may all feel a little guilty. Did we ever mess up someone's nice straight line of things just because we thought it was fun? Did we ever tease someone for checking several times to be sure the door was locked? Did we reject someone because they were weird, counting things over and over, mumbling things, pulling their hair? Now we know. We have a bit of empathy because we have walked in Lily's shoes. Oh yeah, in case you're worried, in case you're a little obsessed about Ella, her little sister, Ella is fine. She doesn't have OCD.